Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brew on Brew Sports. We hope your week is going well. It's Friday. Congratulations, you made it through the week. And maybe your bracket's already busted at this point as well, too. I know mine is actually not doing too terrible. But we know that after the opening round of games last night, that I'm sure most of you are still trying to figure out what the heck is going on with college basketball. People are intentionally following each other to give the games away. And ultimately, the teams that were supposed to win, for the most part, actually did win. But we'll talk about the brackets here in just a little bit. We do welcome you inside the studios this morning. I'm Baxter Colburn. That wonderful gal to my left is Jaymee Evers. Good morning, Jaymee. How are you?
Good morning. I am surprisingly awake.
Surprisingly, yes. Usually it's kind of a coin flip when both you and I walk here in the morning. We're just like, well, let's see what happens. I've got my coffee. You don't have anything, unfortunately.
No, it's all in my belly already.
All in your belly already. You're all coffeeed up. You're all ready to roll for the morning.
Yes.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Did you wear green?
No.
Does this mean I have to pinch you? Isn't that the rule? I think that's the St. Patrick's. I thought there was like, if you don't wear green, someone's going to pinch you. And I always usually ended up smacking people and be like, get off me. Like, don't touch me.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Could be wrong. Maybe it was just annoying friends that I had in high school or college. They were like, oh, we're going to pinch you. You're not wearing green. I'm like, shut up.
I feel like I've heard that before, but I don't know if that's actually a thing.
It might be. I don't know. Well, I do have, for those that are wondering, I do have green underneath. See? Green. There we go. So you can't pinch me. So back it up. Those of you that are trying to come and pinch me, get those hands out of here. I'm watching you. All right, some good stuff for people right off the bat today. The NCAA tournament kicking off last night. Of course, my bracket is actually not doing too terrible. I don't know if you checked in on your bracket to see where you stand. I've got it here if you'd actually like to know.
Oh God! Ooh.
If you'd like
I
to
know
see.
I picked Wisconsin, so I know
you did.
that
You got at least one right, so that's a good
Nice.
sign. Did you call your bracket anything special? Oh, you called it, yeah, J-Abs.
J-Abs.
You are, where'd you go? I just had you. You're tied for first place right now in our bracket challenge.
Hot dog. Would
Boom!
You look at that?
Just like she meant to do
Would
it,
you
right?
Look at that.
She has 150 total points so far. Your bracket is 99.2% correct.
Ooh, hot dog.
What did you pick wrong? I guess that's my real question now.
I don't know.
That's the real question in all this. Let's see if we can figure this out here. Let's see. What did you pick wrong? You got that right. Got that right. Da, 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 da. You got Minnesota wrong. That was your one that got you. You chose Minnesota and Middle Tennessee won. But otherwise, a near perfect bracket thus far.
Wow, I'm impressed with myself.
Yes. Don't get too ahead of yourself though, because today is usually when everything just crashes and burns for not just for you but for everybody.
Yeah.
Like day two. If day one doesn't hit you, day two usually is the one that ends up kind of getting you there on the other side. Kind of like when you drink too long, you're like, I feel good, and then you try to go another round and just and you're just done. It's not worth it.
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, not fun. Not fun. Aaron says Happy St. Patty's Day, but I think he meant to go with a 4-leaf clover instead of a palm tree. But maybe if you're in Florida, Aaron, Happy St. Patty's Day to you. We hope you're lounging on the beach or wherever you are in the world. Jeff says that apparently you should be talking smack about the fact that your bracket is doing so well.
Yeah, Jeff, I would need to know way more about college basketball in order to sound cool enough to talk smack.
Sound cool enough. And Brew says, top of the morning to you, Brew. Happy St. Patty's Day. I don't have my voice hasn't warmed up enough yet to
try
really
again.
be. You try.
No.
Yes. It's not always about me.
I can do a Sheboygan accent. I can't do a
Sheboygan. That's you. You, Jaymee Evers, is a Sheboygan accent. There's no.
I don't have a Sheboygan accent though. I sound very
Pretty sure.
Wisconsin-y.
Well, yeah, Wisconsin,
Not
Sheboygan. Pretty
No,
close. Pretty
no.
close. I've got my Badger gear on today in support of the Badgers winning last night. Whoop, whoop. I'm usually not a huge homer in that sense, so, but
Did you actually watch the game?
I watched 3/4 of the game.
Okay.
And then my wife and I were both like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Like I was like, I've been up since 5 a.m. I'd like to go to bed.
Yeah.
She was like, I might watch a little more. And then she's like, yeah, I'm going to bed too. She's like, our son's been asleep for 2 hours. Probably about that time we both go to bed. I'm like, yeah, that's what you sleep when the baby sleeps. That's the rule usually. So
I wouldn't
can't be
know.
mad about that. Brew says that was a good accent. I'll drink to that. Well, Brew, you're just looking for any reason to drink. I feel like if you're drinking to that Irish accent, we'll have to see if we get some Conor McGregor highlights on to maybe stew the Irish in me, basically. But before we get to the NCAA tournament, some interesting news coming out yesterday about Jose Fernandez. Jaymee, I don't know if you heard this or not about.
I have heard
The incident that took place back in September, I believe, of 2016. There was a tragic boat crash that obviously ended, I want to say Jose Fernandez, that's my European soccer side coming in, Jose Fernandez His life, unfortunately, what looks like after the autopsy and everything that's been run is that he was the man that was indeed driving the boat that crashed. He also had a blood alcohol content over 0.148 to my knowledge. And to top it all off, Jaymee, there were traces of cocaine in his system as well. How does it... Whoops, really? I shouldn't be laughing, but I think there's a time and a place, Jaymee, usually.
This isn't it?
I mean, maybe.
I don't know him.
Oh, I didn't say that you did. I don't know him either.
Whoops.
Does this change the narrative for Jose Fernandez, the fact that we maybe thought like he wasn't as much as fault, and now we realize that he is?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
It doesn't have to. I'm not saying it has to.
Yeah.
I just am curious if it does.
No, I don't think so. I think when you have when you're around the people that he's around and you have the money that they have, like, it's bound to happen. Not that it's okay.
You're right.
Am I surprised? No, I didn't think he was sober. I don't think anybody did.
No, I mean, not many people get on a boat at 3 in the morning or whatever and go 65 miles an hour.
65.7. Okay.
Sorry.
Which I don't really know how they got that, but whatever.
Yeah, how can you get an official tracking?
Right.
It's like, according to these rocks smashed the way they are, they must have been traveling at the trajectory of 67.5.23 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Sure.
I mean, it's still sad, obviously. I feel bad.
Of course.
But
sad day. Sorry,
you
Jose.
idiot. You shouldn't have done cocaine.
If you're going to do cocaine, don't drive a boat.
Right.
That's what Jaymee and I do.
Or drive a boat better.
Or you can't. If you are under the influence of alcohol and cocaine, you tell me how lucid and smart you actually are.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, okay. So shh. Quiet there. You can't be judging somebody just because you don't like the fact that he was stupid. To an extent. Like, you can't, I mean, I don't know. Can you judge somebody based off of something you didn't, like, you've never done?
Yes.
If I go out and murder somebody, like, are you going to judge me even though you've never murdered somebody?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's fine. I can live with that.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, Jose, but seriously, though.
Get it together. Well, you don't have time to get together anymore.
We're done. We've offended too many dead people and baseball fans at this point. I want to actually throw this up on the screen right now because for those of you that are Badger fans, you may or may not know who Ethan Happ is. And a friend of mine sent me this yesterday on my Facebook, and he says, I kept watching the game thinking that your secret alter ego was Ethan Happ. Maybe you see it, maybe not. I don't know if I see it, honestly, looking at this picture. I mean, if it really just has to do with the fact that my hair was long and Ethan has long hair, clearly I have more muscles. And
I was just thinking that.
For the real thing, I was like, I thought they were talking about Beckham. I was like, well, sure, Beckham is way cuter, obviously, but like Becky doesn't look anything like Beckham. So I was like, oh, they maybe were talking about me. But I don't know. Ethan Happ, Baxter Colburn, brothers from another mother? Ethan. I would never want a brother named Ethan. No, it's nothing. Nothing against the name Ethan.
Your name is Baxter. I don't think you can talk.
I have a cool name.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
No,
Ethan is just a strange name, I feel like. Yes. Liz says good morning to us on Facebook. Good morning, Liz. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Cheers to you. We need like a cheers, like a do-do-do-do, something. I don't know. We need sound effects. All right, somebody get an intern on that, basically. All right, so I guess, do I not look like Ethan Happ? I guess maybe I don't. I have no idea if I do or not. I feel like it's honestly the skewed version of my long hair is really what it boils down to. Aside from that, I've got nothing else really to offer.
And the muscles match.
You can clearly tell as I'm just rippling through my sweater here. And here, of course, now my wife coming to your defense, saying, I thought we were going to name our next son Ethan. Well, listen here. I don't mind the name, but I'm not a big fan of it, okay? Beckham and Ethan, I feel like it go like first place to like kind of a thing. I know a couple Ethans, but I'm not good friends with Ethan. If that makes sense.
That's why you don't like it?
I'm just not a fan. You know how you hear certain names? You're just like, I would never name my kid da-da-da. Never name my kid da-da-da. You know, like.
And Ethan is like on your list, like I would never name my kid, I don't know, Chelsea.
Chelsea, that's a strange name.
Yeah.
I mean, I have people named Chelsea, but yeah, I don't think I could ever do that, basically. Oh, well. Weird names, not a fan. We'll get over it. Dave says, yes, that homeschool weight program is how I looked so ripped. You're absolutely right about that, Dave. 9 years of the best homeschool weight program this side of the Mississippi. the reason I am so swole. That's why I usually wear long sleeve, because if I wear short sleeves, I would offend too many people by being too boisterous and too muscular all at one time. So that's the reason Jaymee usually wears long sleeves too, because she's absolutely just ripped, and she's just like, guys, like, I don't want to like accidentally like flex fast and just like, whoa, like break the cameras. These are expensive cameras that we're using. This isn't like a smartphone that you can replace. Like, these cameras are worth more than Jaymee and I's life, and we would hate to break them with our sexy. Anyway, on that hot moment, Devin says, go Marquette. Wisconsin is going to get smoked by Villanova. Devin, I completely agree with you on that one.
If Wisconsin just stops fouling, maybe they'll be okay.
Maybe they will be okay.
They won't be okay.
They're not going to be okay.
No.
You know, I was going to ask you too, Jaymee, how's your Friday going? Like your week as a whole. You having a good week for the most part?
I think so.
You think so? Mm-hmm. That's good.
I had a meeting yesterday. I was really tired. And I swear, I fell asleep 4 times. I've never fallen asleep in a meeting before.
You fell asleep 4
times?
Yeah,
I was like, at one point I was like writing, but I was looking down, so my eyes were kind of closed already. And then it was just so easy just to close them all the way.
Like,
and then I woke myself up and I was like, oh my God, pay attention. And then I did one of these, like where my hand was on my, like the armrest.
Oh, one of those, like here I am. Like.
And my coworker was like, so I woke up, and then I got up, and I went to the bathroom, and I made myself a cup of coffee, and I was like, okay.
I get it together, woman.
Yeah. I was super. Other than that, it's been a good week.
Been a good week. Okay. Well, unfortunately, for those fans that love to go to that like to take in a game of baseball, sometimes things don't always go as planned. A recent video posted on Barstool Sports, they make a joke that, is this the most Asian thing ever, basically, to see happen. Take a look at the video, and if you're having a bad week, maybe this will cheer you up. Take a look. So if you thought you were having a bad day, at least you did not take a baseball to the nether regions, basically. If we need to... see, one more time, just boom. Like, my question to this gentleman is, how do you not see it coming? At what point do you see a baseball flying at you that you're not like, here are my hands?
Or like, that's coming, I should probably move.
Or just, move.
Right. It's not like there was
a quick little step off to the side.
There wasn't anybody. He was kind of sitting by himself.
Yeah,
it's not like he was like distracted. He wasn't on his Game Boy, so...
That's stereotypical right
but
there.
it was funny.
Nintendo Switch maybe would have been more appropriate for like the modern day.
What's that?
It's the new Nintendo system.
Well, look
Read a book. I don't know. But anyway, is that like the Barstool was making the argument saying, is this the most stereotypical thing you can ever really expect from the Asians? Because I mean, they always are known for like their anime and everything being like oh my gosh, like super like crazy. And I mean, I probably would have done the same thing if I got a home run to the goods. I'd have been like, yeah, probably not going to be moving around too much.
He was like so dainty in his hop.
He was.
Oh, I don't know what it's like, but I can imagine it does not feel great. I also just find it extremely comical.
True. I agree with you. One other thing you wanted to bring up as well from a comical perspective has to do with a sport that is very near and dear to your hearts when it comes to fighting and hockey.
Oh, yes.
Talk us through what we're about to see here.
So during the... Why am I drawing a blank?
Looks like the Sharks and somebody else
and
here.
the Predators.
There it is.
There it is.
This girl. Need more coffee.
They get in a fight. Austin Watson and I forget who's he with.
Somebody Martin.
Don't have it in front of me. Sorry.
I don't know. Guy's last name.
Get in a fight. Get done with their fight, and they run to the penalty box. I am a huge fan of when players are mic'd up. I think it's hilarious.
I love it.
Like, it's super funny, especially in hockey because they're just chirping literally the whole time.
Yes.
So 2 players get in a fight, both go in the penalty box, and then they have like a conversation about the grocery store, basically, like what they're going to do for their week. They talk about their summer cardio and how they're doing, but it's just it's funny because they just get done beating the crap out of each other, and
I've got the video if you want to, if we need to show it here.
It's funny.
Should we show it?
We should show it.
Okay, take a look here, guys. Get him! Get him! Pretty lame fight, actually.
I know, and Austin Watson's a big guy. Like, he could have.
Hey, Watts. We got to work on our cardio this summer, huh? Jesus. Joey doesn't know cardio. I like it.
Oh my gosh, that's phenomenal. That's the greatest. I mean, I think that was always my favorite thing is when I had friends on opposing teams, like growing up, like for soccer and for like especially for soccer too. Like when someone would score in high school, it'd be like, damn it, be like, all right, like good job, man. Like you'd give them a little like tap on the butt or whatever, be like, all right, good job, or like. From football, if somebody makes a hard hit on you, you're just like, okay, like, don't hit me as hard next time. You're like, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Like, sort of a thing. But I think that's really comical. I mean, I've always been a big fan of people being mic'd up. I mean, Ray Lewis in the NFL was a classic one to get mic'd up.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
You'll hear Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. When you're hearing like them like trying to pick apart things, or when you get the guys that aren't as maybe as sharp as the next ones that are out there trying to talk, and you're just like, what? Like, what are you saying? Like that makes absolutely no sense to me. Just shh.
I think it shows too that the fighting in hockey isn't as.
It's about as real as the WWE.
And then, like everyone has such like a negative, like portray of it, and it's not that it's that. Like they obviously didn't want to hurt each other. It's just part of the game. And these guys play with each other literally from the time they're small to the time they make it in the big league.
You have to, yeah.
So I think it's funny.
I agree. I completely agree. All right, let's look at the NCAA tournament because I know that's what a lot of you folks are really excited about overall. Some of your scores from yesterday, just to run through them all. Notre Dame beat Princeton 60-58. Virginia beat UNCW 76-71. Butler 76-64 over Winthrop. Gonzaga gets a 20-point victory over South Dakota State. West Virginia beats Bucknell 86-80. Florida beats Eastern Tennessee 80-65. Middle Tennessee State 81-72 winners over Minnesota, who was really high seeded. Shut up, Golden Gopher fans. Let's see who else. Northwestern beat Vanderbilt 68-66. Xavier beats Maryland 76-65. Wow, there's a lot of games yesterday. Nova beat Mount St. Mary's 76-56. St. Mary's beats VCU 85-77. Purdue beats UVM 80-70. FSU beats FGCU 86-80. Wisconsin beats Virginia Tech 84-74. Iowa State beats Nevada 84-73. And Arizona beats the University of North Dakota 100-82. Whew. And that was just day one.
Did they catch all that?
I didn't, so I hope somebody did. Somebody hopefully was paying attention. Your thoughts about some of these opening round action games? I don't know. Did you get a chance to see the Wisconsin game last night, or what were some of the games that you had your eyes on yesterday?
I didn't get a chance to watch them all as I was working, and I know everyone could say, "Well, you can put it on your laptop or your computer at work," but I actually work at work.
Oh,
kind of.
You don't drink beer and talk about sports all day?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
Well, we should work on that.
But I did get a chance to sit down and watch the Badger game. I got done with work and hopped on the other side of the bar, grabbed a beer, and thought they were going to lose because they looked like they were about to choke. But I guess I don't really have much to say about it then because I didn't see any of it.
You didn't really see much of it.
No.
Well, for those that did watch the game, Bronson Koenig, obviously 28 total points on the night. Certainly a rejuvenated thing that you want to see, of course, if you are a Badgers fan, because you want to be able to keep consistent play from your star players. And last night, I mean, when you go 8 of 17 from three-point range, that certainly is going to help put points on the board. I mean, 24 of his 28 points came from the three-point arc. And if you're a Badger fan, that's what you want to see. You want to be able to see the three-point shot consistently flow for you. And I guess maybe from my personal perspective, as I was watching the game last night, I guess I didn't realize how good of three-point shooters the Badgers were. And I know that if you're a Badger fan, you're like, well, it hasn't been consistent all year long. I get that. I really do. But when you shoot as well as Bronson Koenig did last night, you have to certainly be excited about the rest of the tournament. Now you go obviously face the defending national champions in Villanova. That's a little terrifying, no matter who you are, basically, especially when Villanova was actually kind of pressed a little bit in the beginning of their game yesterday when they were battling out. But is Wisconsin going to beat Villanova? I don't know. Probably not. I would be surprised if they did, honestly. I don't have them beating Villanova in my bracket. Maybe some of you have a different opinion as well. If you do, obviously let us know about it below. But I would be surprised, honestly, if we see something like that actually take place.
If they would, I feel like it would have been a higher game and a bigger gap between the two scores if they wouldn't have fouled so much in that the second half.
Correct.
Zach Showalter ended up fouling out, which obviously is never good. And he
Usually
was like,
not.
what? I fouled out? Yeah, you knew you were close to that 6 mark.
Yeah, Ethan Happ got in foul trouble early as well, too. He had 2 fouls almost right out of the gate, and he ended up with 4 total on the evening and then only got 10 points because of that. So when you're arguably your best player is getting into foul trouble early, that was a smart move by Virginia Tech to kind of go after him right off the bat because it's obviously going to slow down the production from one of the better players on your opposing team. So credit to the Hokies for doing that.
Yeah, I think Nigel Hayes had a really good second half, too, after they went through the foul trouble. He really seemed to step up, and his free throw game was great, and he really helped.
He did. He did indeed. We do have a poll question as well, too, posted here on our Facebook page in the Morning Brew description. Which game surprised you the most from NCAA opening day? If you have one, comment below, whether it be a win or a loss. For me, my surprise really wasn't one specific game as much as it was how much the little teams kept it close for most of the day. FGCU and FSU was a lot closer, I think, than most folks thought it was going to be. I will also say that I was a little surprised based off of how teams like San Diego State came out hot, and then Princeton came out hot as well too. UNCW also came out hot, and then ultimately couldn't hold on to it at the bitter end. But I was actually curious to get your thoughts about this too, Jamie, because I almost feel that so many of these little teams get so hyped in the first half. They're like, "Oh, we got this. We're only down by 1, or we're up by 5." And then the second half starts, and then everything just kind of fades away, and they just realize that they're facing Goliath, and they are no longer this mighty David trying to slay the giant, basically. What if for just the round of 64, teams only played one half? I feel like you would have more, like you would
have more upsets.
You just played 18 minutes instead of playing 2 halves, because I feel like there's so many games in the first round that could sway one way or the other.
Yeah, but isn't that what makes them a worse team?
Yes, it does. You're absolutely right if you can't hang with it. But I'm saying just in the round of 64, if you were just to add a little, nugget in, being like, you know what, maybe we can open up more possibilities.
Yeah, but then round 2, they're going to go to 2 halves, and they're still going to suck.
Potentially not.
They'll still suck.
It kind of opens up the door for a little bit more madness, sort of a thing.
I think that is a dumb rule.
It's just an idea. I'm not saying it has to actually work, but I'm just saying I feel like it opens the door for more possibilities when it comes to the upset realm. And you could get teams like a Gonzaga, potentially losing, or, Eastern Tennessee, who was really, riding Florida.
You might as well just give them a handicap then, like in bowling.
Maybe if fans want to see the upsets.
Which is still, what is a handicap in bowling? Like,
I don't understand the
do
handicap in golf either. Like, what does that mean? What do you mean I'm a negative 15 handicap? Does that mean like you take off 15 strokes and then you I think so. But how do you get a handicap in bowling?
I think that you just start out with more points. So because when my dad was in a bowling league and I used to go and watch when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure that there was handicaps. Like you get 20 extra points to start because you suck.
Wow. Stop sucking, people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you should look it up. What a handicap in bowling and in golf actually mean. If any of you know, and you are in bowling leagues, I know that there are people that I'm friends with that bowl competitively, which good for you. I mean, I think that's fantastic. I mean, it's not as ridiculous as like the World Series of Darts or something like that, which I think is a little crazy. But a handicap in bowling, now what exactly does that mean? What does the handicap in golf mean? But I think that if you were to raise the stakes even higher for that opening round of NCAA action, saying, look, you guys only get 18 or 20 minutes, whatever. You get one half, basically, no breaks, no whatever. You just play, and the better team just goes through.
Oh, so that you can play against other bowlers with different levels of skill. Maybe you just shouldn't play with those good bowlers, and you should practice more. This is where participation trophies came from, you weak bowlers.
It's the stupid bowlers that ruined it for the rest of the world.
To retract to the beginning of our segment today, you are supposed to pinch people if you don't wear green. I looked it up too. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Ow.
There you go. You've officially been pinched. You can't pinch me, folks, because I have green on. So, boom.
And they're not here.
Exactly. So, people can't be reaching through. This isn't like the 3D, 4K, whatever, 12K TVs where you can reach through and be like, haha, like I'm not seeing hands coming out of my laptop trying to pinch me. I don't know. Anyway, either way, keep your hands to yourself. You can't pinch me. Do people actually do that, though? Like, I'm curious, for those of you that are watching, do you actually pinch somebody, or does that just make you kind of look like a douche? Like, if I'm a random guy, like,
Probably
if I
a
pass a
douche.
coworker that I don't talk to very often, I go up to be like, hey, Paul, not wearing green today. Like, I feel like I'm going to get punched. Like, get off me. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
I feel like
stop
you're
touching me.
probably gonna get.
I mean, even if it's people that you know, like if you had a sister and you were like, oh, Samantha, you're not wearing green today. I mean, would you pinch her to be that?
No.
If you were the older sister, be like, what the heck, Sam?
No.
Put some green on. Pinch, pinch. Not about that life? Interesting. I guess I don't know. I mean, from a wearing green perspective, I don't care. I really don't. Like, I've worn green. I've not worn green on St. Patty's Day. I think I've had that one friend. I think that was not even a friend. I think it was just a person that I knew that I went to school with that was notorious for pinching people on St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like, I swear to you, if you touch me, I will drop kick you, burn your car.
Yeah, they're annoying.
And, leave you for dead in the wilderness somewhere. Duct taped to a tree. Upside down. By your toes. Like, I've got that kind of, like just don't touch me sort of a thing. Not that I don't like, I mean, my love language is physical touch. I love hugs. I love all that fun business. But if you're going to purposely try to pinch me, not happening. Get out of here. Ain't nobody got time for that. And Liz says that's how the hockey fight started. He said he got pinched because he wasn't wearing green.
Their game wasn't on St. Patty's Day.
Oh.
Liz.
Come on, Liz. Get it together. But, I mean, maybe they were just pre-gaming for that. Be like, hey, bro, like, you're not wearing green. Like, I'm not going to see you tomorrow. You know, we got to be in Vancouver. You guys are going to Florida. Like,
I don't think so.
I'm going to give you a little quick, fast light. You think guys I mean, I know guys do weird stuff like that in general, though. Like, you walk by some guy, you, like, pinch him in the butt or whatever, like, if you're about ready for a face-off. Or people do weird stuff, like, on free throws, like, when you're waiting at the line. Like, people will just be, like, hanging there, just be, like, saying random stuff to people in their ears. Like, people remember, like, I think it was, like, I forget, was it Lance Kendricks or whatever that was, like, blowing in LeBron's ear or whatever? Like, do you remember that?
I do not.
It wasn't Lance Kendricks. I'm getting the wrong name because I'm pretty sure the Packers just signed Lance Kendricks as a tight end. So I obviously don't think that's who it is. But somebody help me out here if you can. But people do weird stuff like during sports to distract their opponents, and maybe more of that should be welcomed. And sometimes people are like the hands off rule, like, oh, you can't even look at him because if you do that to a soccer player, they'll fall on the ground and act like you just sawed their arm off, like with a rusty nail. Basically, it's like, dear God, I'm wounded. Like, get up. Like, stop. It's the one thing I was proud about when I was a soccer player. I was not a fake injurer. Just if you hit me, I usually got back up. If I actually was hurt, I would stay on the ground. Simple enough. I wouldn't embellish just to get the call because, dear God, nobody likes that guy.
And with your big muscles, you never got injured.
Exactly. Absolutely. People would try to run into me. I'd be like, whoa, now, back off. You can't hit me. Yes. 100%. What games are you looking forward to today, Jamie, in the NCAA tournament, as we can get off my muscles here for a little while, which I know apparently have become the latest craze among all the kids nowadays, just talking about my muscles. Baxter's Rippling Muscles is now a Twitter account that you can go and follow. It's at Big Boy Muscles or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure it's not. Please, dear God, don't make that a thing. SMU plays USC today. Baylor plays New Mexico State. Marquette, the hometown team, doesn't play all the way till 9:50 tonight. They play South Carolina tonight. Are you going to try to catch the Marquette game tonight?
I'm sure it will be on the TV behind me, but like I said, I have to work. So I'll be watching it occasionally, I'm sure.
Occasionally. Duke and Troy play each other tonight. I don't know who Duke and Troy are, but I'm sure they're nice guys. No. Sorry. Too early for that.
Dad joke.
Hannah says, go Marquette. Yeah, Hannah. Get it. Get excited. Go, Hannah. Hannah Aho or Aho or Ahahaho or however we said her name yesterday on the show. Kansas and UC Davis. The Hurricanes of Miami takes on Michigan State. Has anybody played during the morning today? Creighton, Rhode Island, Oregon, Iona, UNC, Texas Southern. Where does anybody play in the morning? Everybody and their mother plays in the evening today. What in the world? Kind of communist, fascist government do we play this basketball tournament?
This morning. Everyone has St. Patty's Day things to do.
Why are you hungover already? You should have been drinking yesterday, or you should have been drinking today, not yesterday.
These are all late games.
Yeah. I thought the first game started at like 11. Maybe this is all like the Eastern time zone, and I'm just like totally thrown off here.
Yeah, but it would still just be like noon.
True.
Which isn't that late.
That's also true. I was gonna ask you, have you seen like crazy brackets at all about this celebrity versus this celebrity, or this McDonald's thing versus that McDonald's thing, sort of a thing?
Oklahoma State versus Michigan, 12-15.
Aha! My national champion, Michigan Wolverines, starting their conquest for ultimate glory. I picked Michigan, if you guys didn't know. People are probably not happy with me for doing that, but whatever. Someone's got to go against the grain, okay? Get off me. Did you ever tell us who your Final Four teams were?
No.
Can't remember if you did. Aha, you should probably tell us who
I think you should tell us because I don't remember.
This is why I literally have to do everything. Literally, because Jamie just is like, meh.
I think I have Kentucky going all the way.
Let's find out. Yep, your Final Four consists
Kentucky,
of...
Duke.
Oh, you have the most stereotypical Final Four. Oh, I just don't like you anymore. Villanova and Gonzaga, the 2 1 seeds, and then Kansas and Kentucky. Kentucky's the 2 seed, but aside from that, you've got 3 1 seeds and a 2 seed. 80-76 Kentucky beats Nova. I mean, maybe, but I hope not, because that's just annoying. Why'd you have to be that girl?
Because I just wasn't feeling it.
You didn't have to feel it as much as you just had to push buttons.
I did. And I pushed all the buttons with the low numbers.
People, if Jamie wins our bracket pool, Jamie, how did you do so well? Chose the lower number. Brilliant!
I was watching Parenthood, crying on my couch. Knew I had to do this. Crying on my couch because of Parenthood.
I was about to say, I was like, I didn't feel like I pressured you that much to fill out a bracket.
Because Parenthood's so sad.
Never seen Parenthood.
So real.
Is it?
It's a really good show. And I don't like...
Did you have a good childhood, Jamie?
Yeah, I had a great childhood.
Then why are you crying about Parenthood? You're not even a parent.
I know, because, like, the one couple can't have a baby, and then they think they're going to get a baby, and then the adoptive mother thinks that she doesn't want to give it to them anymore, and it's just really sad, and then there's just all this real stuff, and...
Sad.
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt this timely, homey, down-to-earth moment with some potential breaking news, but according to Bleacher Report, the Oakland Raiders are strongly considering trying to acquire retired running back Marshawn Lynch. So they're trying to bring Marshawn Lynch out of retirement to come fill the void for the Raiders.
He's too busy selling Skittles.
That's all he's doing, though. I mean, like, the man runs on Skittles. That's interesting. I feel like that needs to get talked about in the sense of if people have a comment about that. Marshawn Lynch potentially coming out of retirement to play for the Oakland Raiders. My instant reaction to that, I ask why. I think there's enough better players on the market that Oakland could fill that void with. Adrian Peterson still floating around. You're going to tell me that a retired Marshawn Lynch is in better shape than an Adrian Peterson? I can't get on board with that.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think there's other players as a whole floating about, or you could draft that you could be a better player than someone that hasn't played in the NFL for a couple of years. And maybe there's some, deal in there that has to do with, like, we'll give you Raiders colored Skittles or whatever, but I mean, black and gray Skittles, I don't feel like those are very appetizing. I wouldn't want to eat a black Skittle. There's nothing against that. I don't like, black Skittles, but like, it's not fun. It's not exciting.
Would you eat a black jelly bean?
What's it flavored?
Sweaty socks? I have no idea.
No, absolutely not. If it was like if it was like black licorice, then absolutely not. Like, I hate black licorice. Not a fan of that. I couldn't do that. So, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about the Raiders considering a guy like Marshawn Lynch?
No, I think you made a valid point that he hasn't done anything in the last year.
Yeah, so
he's not sitting at home like
how could you justify that?
Training in his backyard. He's munching on Skittles, going to Ireland.
Is he?
So that I don't know. That was one of the commercials. Or Scotland. Yeah, Scotland dishing out Skittles.
Oh, he's such a giver. Such a nice guy.
I feel like he also is someone that, like, I feel like he's like okay with not being in the NFL anymore. Like,
most of those
he's
guys
kind of out of the light. Like, he's just doing him. Like, he's made a little bit of money.
He's made more than a little bit of money.
Yeah, he doesn't like the media at all. So I think he's probably okay, but we'll see.
He's just here so we won't get fined, basically.
Yeah.
You were bringing some other interesting stuff to my attention about the hockey world. Somebody from the Philadelphia Flyers that I can't even pretend to try to pronounce his last name.
Jacob Voracek.
That's what I was going to go with, actually.
Buys 396 hats for kids after snafu.
Snafu.
Which do you know what that is?
A snafu?
Yeah.
Like a oops.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Like a Jose Fernandez drinking cocaine. Like oops.
I thought it was a disease, so I googled it.
Dear God, he's got snafu. Started a GoFundMe to help the family recover from the dying snafu.
This girl I work with, she's like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "I don't know what snafu is." SNAFU.
SMAFU as well.
I googled it and it just says situation normal, all effed up.
Situation normal, all effed up. What does that even mean?
I don't know. So like just some like a whoops. I guess.
There it is.
So anyways, during the first period of the Flyers' win against the Avalanche, because everybody wins against the Avalanche, Wayne Simmons scored 2 goals, and they thought he scored a third. So 396 people threw their hats on the ice for a hat trick, for those of you that are dumb and don't know that.
Of course.
So it is a custom, obviously, that the fans threw their hats on the ice to celebrate the trick, except for it was Voracek that scored the goal. So Simmons obviously didn't have a hat trick because he only scored 2.
Awkward.
So Voracek took a little bit of jabbing from the crowd, promised to buy the number of hats that were thrown on the ice and donate them to charity.
Aww.
So we bought 396 Flyers hats and donated them to the Children's Hospital.
What a nice guy.
Yeah.
That's
see?
a good old feel-good story right there.
I know. So sweet. Oh, hockey.
Love hockey.
Yeah.
Aw.
Cute.
Tell us how you really feel about that.
Cute. That's how I feel.
Gotcha.
I think it's adorable, and I would not think of that. I wouldn't be like, you guys wasted your hats on my one goal? That sucks. Pick your hat up later.
Yeah, right. Like you probably can't get your hat back then. That's kind of embarrassing. I feel like.
People get to pick up their hats back from at most games, but it's only like 50 hats on the ice, not 400.
Gotcha. Dawn says her 3-year-old who's watching with her right now is dying laughing because of the word snafu. She said, my 3-year-old is cracking up at snafu. I've honestly never seen it written out before, so SNAFOO?
FU.
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 FU. Snafu.
But yeah,
Snafu.
I thought it was a disease, so I was like, what gives you snafu? It says, what is snafu? Confused or chaotic state. I'd never heard that word before.
I would love, honestly, to have you called Walgreens, like, do you guys have a thing for snafu? Like, I've got a bad case of the snafu. Like, can you guys give me a vaccine for that? I've heard it's snafu season. Like, can I get a vaccine for that? People would be rolling. I feel like.
I feel like I'm out of the loop and really stupid, but I didn't know that it was
I'm not making fun of you. I think
it's fine.
Just
I'm
funny,
making fun of
though.
myself.
Yes. What's a foobar? Jeff just said foobar. What's foobar? I don't know what a foobar is.
Me either. Clearly, I'm not cool enough.
Autocorrect? Snafu to foobar? What other strange words out there? Like, is there other words that you hear, like, people are just like moist? Some people lose their mind when you say the word moist. Like,
yeah, I feel like there's other words, but they're probably not appropriate.
True. Are there any clean words that you can share with the audience? Snafu is a fun word. I feel like it is. Like, oh, snafu.
Sounds like it'd be a board game.
Yeah. Yes, it does, actually, now that you say that. Like, guys, come on over. Got some wine, got some popcorn. We're playing snafu tonight. Like, oh, sweet deal. What would even the rules of a snafu game be?
I don't know. Maybe
sounds
that'll
like
be our first
invention?
Yeah.
There you go.
Sports.
Patent pending, TM,
Yeah.
all that legal business. Don't touch snafu. Baxter and Jaymee, bringing it to you.
If we're going to continue on, the good guy
Yeah,
role.
we love good guys.
Derek Carr, young quarterback in the NFL, helps a driver who ran out of gas and prays for him. So he is...
Like on the spot, like, dear Lord, I hope that the gas continues to get flowed into your car. Like, what does he do?
The gentleman runs out of gas. Derek Carr pulls over, helps him out. And he says, oh, what's your favorite football team? And he's like, oh, I'm kind of biased. I play for the Raiders. They're like, who are you? And he's like, what's your name? And he's like, I'm Derek Carr. And
Derek Carr's got a face that it's hard to forget, I feel like.
And then once they got done, he stopped and said, is there anything you'd like me to pray for before I go? And the guy said, I grew up Catholic and I couldn't pass up the opportunity, so I mentioned 3 things. And he replied, can I pray for you? He placed his right hand on my left shoulder and we said a prayer together.
Wow.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, new favorite quarterback. What a
So
guy.
we don't need Tim Tebow anymore because he's been replaced.
Derek Carr versus Tim Tebow in a playoff. Who wins?
That's funny.
Tim Tebow's got that southern style, so I feel like his would be a little bit more long-winded, where Derek could be a little bit more to the point.
Derek Carr doesn't look like he would be a religious guy.
I guess, I mean...
He looks like he'd do cocaine off strippers' butts.
Wow.
Sorry, Derek Carr, but you do.
He does. I mean, when you play for Oakland, though, I guess you do kind of have
rough.
this rough, rigid...
Do you think if he was wearing red, white, and blue...
If he was playing for, the Patriots, or if he was playing for the Packers or something, it'd be like, oh, what a guy. Derek Carr. Like, he is the best man I've ever met. I wonder, though, Derek Carr versus Tim Tebow in a playoff. I don't know what a playoff would even consist of.
Pray the
spout
loudest.
off the rant like the best prayers instead of like a wrap off, like you spewed prayers back and forth. I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of what a good old fashioned pray off would look like.
Yeah, me either. I've never seen one.
But I agree with you though. Like Jeff says, it was nice to see him living out his faith like he was. Situation, yes, is all. Oh, that's what FUBAR means. Gotcha. Situation.
Where does the U come from?
Well, it's
F up.
yes.
F'd up.
Effed up beyond all recognition.
Oh, there
FUBAR.
it is. Okay.
I guess I didn't know that. I don't know.
Neither.
I've never heard of FUBAR. We're learning all kinds of things this morning. Jamie didn't know what a snafu was. I didn't know what FUBAR was.
The more you know.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna create an alter ego. Yes, my name is Snafu FUBAR. I feel like I'm a cricket player from India. Snafu FUBAR. I don't know. FUBAR doesn't sound like an Indian name.
Mm-mm.
What kind of a last name would FUBAR be? That's more like a Hispanic, wouldn't it?
Sure.
FUBAR. No, FUBAR is like a Middle Eastern sort of thing. I don't know. I'm from Pakistan. FUBAR. I don't know.
Sure, Baxter.
Work with me, Jamie. Good Lord.
I have no idea.
You're a terrible co-host. You don't give me anything. You just throw me out to dry and be like, go ahead, continue to make an idiot of yourself. I'll stand here
That's
and
what
wait for
I
you to
think.
finish
Sometimes
talking.
I just stare at you until you finish talking.
I promise that I liked it when my co-hosts talk back at me, but when they just sit there and stare at me, I don't know if I should A, keep going, or B, stop altogether and walk off the set. Well, she's not talking, so maybe I should just walk off the set.
I'm not good at transitioning, so you got to come back here. Okay, I'll transition.
Oh, good.
All
All
right,
right,
it's
there
St.
we
Patty's
go.
Day, so we'll go back to my least favorite Irishman of all time.
Yes. Connor.
Yeah, so Dana White went on Conan O'Brien and said that he believes that the fight is going to happen.
Yeah, of course, because it's a marketing thing.
Correct. He said, I think it's going to be a tough deal because obviously there are a lot of egos involved in this deal and a lot of people, so that always makes it tougher. On the flip side, there's so much money involved, I don't know how it's going to happen.
Also
Yeah,
true.
right.
Then maybe you shouldn't be setting a $25 million each deal plus the pay-per-view negotiated split.
Or maybe you should just take a cut yourself.
Or maybe
You know what I mean? If it's
maybe
that-
the fight just shouldn't happen.
If it's that important to them to make it happen, and both fighters are like, we want at least $100 million.
Just shut the front door. Who's more ridiculous, this fight or LeVar Ball's
I was thinking
$100
about
billion shoe contract deal?
Honestly, I would say LeVar Ball. First of all, everyone that watches a pay-per-view fight has to pay for it. So there's,
That's the rule.
right. So there's a bunch of money.
Pay-per-view. You know, when I was growing up, I was like, "What's a pay-per-view?" I was like, "I can't watch it in the paper." Like, what does that mean? Like, I thought it physically meant
Baxter.
paper.
Oh, Baxter.
I was homeschooled. We didn't have pay-per-view. We had cable from an antenna that my father worked hard for to buy at the store for $10, and then we threw it on the TV, and that's how we watched our games. You know, this fangled new technology with paying for views and watching things outside the state of Wisconsin.
It's okay.
Continue.
Just keep blaming it on your homeschool education. But when I make fun of you, it's a big deal. Anyways, so Dana said a lot of things make this fight intriguing. Conor McGregor is huge. He's in the prime of his career. Floyd is 40. Floyd has also had problems with southpaws. Conor is a southpaw, and Conor hits hard. When he hits people, they go. Floyd is definitely not knocking him out. That's for sure. And now I hope he does, just so you look like a dummy, Dana White.
Dana.
You big, bald, chunky man.
Honestly thought that first time before I knew what Dana White looked like, I was like, oh, that's cool that the UFC president's a woman.
A woman, yeah.
I was like, that's awesome. Like, good for UFC. Like, I was like, well, maybe Dana was like some really famous fighter back in the day, and now she's like, the first big female president. And then I saw a picture. I was like, oh, it's an ugly 40-year-old bald man.
Yeah.
I was like, stop. And he doesn't he commentate on games or not on games, on fights, I guess. What do they ever I feel like he's the second the color commentator. I feel like outside of that. I think maybe I'm totally wrong about that, but what kind of power do you have there if you can, own everything and then also be like, guys, I'm actually going to also sit in the broadcast booth and give you my 2 cents while these things are going on. I could be wrong. It could be somebody else, but the voice sounds similar.
No, Joe Rogan definitely is probably the first voice you'll hear for most of it.
It is Joe Rogan. Maybe that, and like I said, maybe I just don't know enough about it.
Joe Rogan does all of the.
Yeah, I know that.
But I think I haven't watched a UFC fight in a long time.
I don't think I've ever purposely watched a UFC fight.
You've never purposely watched it?
You flip through oh look, UFC's on. I wonder if something's on Lifetime. I would rather watch a Lifetime movie and cry my eyes out like a little girl than watch a UFC fight. I have no desire to see two grown-ups punch the crap out of each other.
Okay.
No desire. I don't know. Jeff wants to know if they're going to be wearing boxing gloves in this fight.
Yeah, because it's a boxing match.
It's a boxing match, yeah. It's not like it's just like a all good old-fashioned street brawl where they just hit the mats and just go at it.
And they're not, it's not MMA. Like, it's not UFC.
No, because Conor would win that. If it was anything outside of boxing, Conor wins because Floyd is old and slow. Floyd is technical, yes, and he can just kind of patiently wait and do kind of thing.
I think McGregor's going to hype himself up too much, and he's just going to...
He's going to give that sliver of an opening, and Floyd's just going to go bang.
Yeah.
Because Floyd's the seasoned veteran in the boxing world. And just
he's also, what, like 49-0?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Undefeated, baby. Floyd doesn't need... Neither of these guys, number one, need the money. Neither of these guys need the publicity. You're not helping grow boxing or UFC. This isn't... Boxing hasn't had the great legends since guys like Muhammad Ali and George Foreman were still boxing back in the day, when the Rumble in the Jungle and all that crazy business. Like, boxing has not been relevant. I know Manny Pacquiao and I know Floyd Mayweather have done their part to keep it semi-relevant, but it's not an event anymore. People don't go to boxing matches anymore unless you are a, like, ridiculously die-hard fan of that sport. And people make fun of people going to women's soccer. Soccer is far more big as a whole than what boxing is. Like, when was the last time you met someone that's like, I only follow boxing? That was the thing back in the day. That was the sport. You would dress up, fancy as all can get out, go to a boxing match, sit ringside, and watch two guys beat it out for a couple hours. Like, that was the thing to do. That was what Vegas was basically built around back in the day. And now we're trying to continue to bring it back. Like, is it ever wrong for a sport to just go away? What would be so bad if boxing just was done? Like, you know what, guys? We've had a good run. But, like, we don't need to keep hyping this up. Once Floyd retires, once Manny Pacquiao officially retires again or whatever, to my knowledge, there's not a lot of great upcoming boxers. There's not another Muhammad Ali. Like, why do we, stop making this happen?
I don't know.
Kind of a thing.
It's a good question. I never thought of that.
Something to think about, Same with UFC, too. I mean, you got your Rondas, your Conors, your Hollies, your Diaz brothers, but aside from that, I mean, you're basically just taking somebody, like, who's to say this guy is better or not than this person? Like, if Conor McGregor didn't have the overall media hype around him, like, would he be as popular, Like, I can be outlandish here all I want if I just wanted to be crazy like Conor McGregor, but if I'm not giving the media attention on an international level, no one's going to ever know who I am.
Right, but that's what Dana White's so good at doing.
Yes.
Hyping these guys up, so.
It's true. Dana White is the
Dana White
hyper of all
come here
hypes.
And hype you up.
Thanks, Dana White. That'd be great. Not that I don't mind. I mean, I feel fairly hyped, but I mean, I try to deflect and be like, it's all about my co-host. It's never about me. I feel like people come to watch you guys. They don't come to watch me, which is fine. I'm not mad about that. Come on, there's more people hashtag Team Tanner and Team Jaymee than there are Team Baxter. It's 100% fact.
I don't know if that's true.
I think that's 100% of a fact.
I don't think so.
Maybe people just like to ruffle me a little bit and
Maybe.
be like, yeah, go Tanner, yeah, go Jaymee.
Keep you level-headed.
Because I'm so not level-headed to begin with? Really? I'm just
keep that ego tamed.
Yes. Look at me with my big ego. Could barely get through the door this morning because my head was so big. Woe is me, Mr. Big Ego. No, not happening.
Baxter Big Ego.
Yes, that's my middle name. Baxter Big Ego Colburn. I like it. Everybody wins, I feel like. All right, what other things do we have to talk about here? Russell Westbrook apparently pretends that he's never heard of Steph Curry because Curry says Harden is the MVP. Russell Westbrook has been on a downhill slope since Kevin Durant left, and that's nothing against Russell Westbrook and the insanity he's been doing this year, but at some point Russ needs to realize that he either needs to A, change teams and go to a better market, or B, just shut up. Because you can be the greatest player you ever want. Like how many times are we seeing guys like even here in Milwaukee, Giannis, fantastic player. No one gives a damn on the national level. No one does. Oklahoma. If Russell Westbrook wasn't there, nobody cares how the Thunder's doing. Nobody. He needs to go to a bigger, better team. Will he actually do that? I don't know.
I bet you he will.
You think so?
Yeah, because he's going to get sick of losing. Everyone's ultimate goal is to win a championship.
That's correct. That is correct. Why do you think players stay on losing teams? Is it for the money?
Probably a little bit of the money and probably a little bit of, just the loyalty. You know what I mean? Like, they're probably treated pretty decently. So he's probably
I'd assume so.
Oh, man, I don't want to leave. I'm sorry, Johnny, but it's been fun. Gotta go. Right?
Sure.
Like some people stay at crappy paying jobs because they just enjoy their job.
Why stay at a crappy paying job though? I've never been at a job where I've been like, you know what? I get paid peanuts, but boy, do I love my job.
Well, I don't know, because
Why would you take the job in the first place, I guess?
don't they say, isn't there like that saying, love your job and you'll never work a day in your life?
Yes.
Or like, don't work for money, work for your happiness.
How's that working out for you so far, Jamie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm young. It hasn't beat me down yet.
There you go. Yeah, you got plenty of time. Yeah, Jeff says, hashtag Team Baxter and Jaymee. No, you can't pick both. That's not how this works.
Pick him so he stops complaining.
Oh, stop. Or come up with like a celeb name for like Baxter and Jaymee. Like we came up with, I think it's Tanner for Baxter or Tanter or because you can't say Baxter because, well, obviously the end of Tanner is and Baxter is as well too. So you got to like Tanter. I don't know. Maybe not.
Texter.
What would ours be? I don't even know if we'd have one. Baxme? Jamter?
Jamter.
Jamter. Hashtag Team Jamter. I like that. That makes sense to me.
That's fine.
Baxter and Jaymee.
That's funny.
I like it. Greg says, Baxter, you're the reason that I started watching Brew Sports in the first place. And then, of course, one of our producers, David, as well, recommended it to him as well. Well, thanks, Greg. I appreciate that you're watching because of me. I promise I'm not trying to complain because I want love. It's not that at all. I'm just stating the obvious fact that people love my co-hosts far more than they love me, which is fine. People don't tune into The Bachelor to watch Chris Harrison. Okay, that's a bad example. People love Chris Harrison, but like people didn't tune into America's Got Talent to watch Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is kind of like hyping everything up. You're like, all right, but it's all about the judges. It's all about Simon. It's all about those other people, and then it's all about the talent. Like no one cares about the front man being like, woo, like hyping people up. Like I feel like I'm Dana White. I'm hyping you guys up. Be like, it's Jaymee. Get excited. Woo. Maybe.
Sure.
I could be totally wrong. That's fine if I'm wrong. I'm not mad that if I'm wrong. I want to see you succeed. I've had my fun. I want to see you succeed. It's not about me, Jaymee. This is my selfless taking off of I'm trying to pass down my knowledge to you, even though you're older than me. I'm trying to still pass off
Not
things
mentally.
That's truer words have never been spoken. Final thoughts here, Jaymee, as we get ready to wrap things up.
I think it's time for me to do my weekly rant.
Yes.
So I have a huge, and I don't want to say if it's an issue, but I hate people that bring their kids to, like, I don't know if expensive is the right word, like big sporting events, because one, they don't want to sit still for 2-3 hours. Two, they fall asleep. They make a mess. They, like, whatever. I get so mad when I watch playoff games, hockey playoff games, and there's a kid on the glass. He doesn't know that he's sitting in a $2,000 seat. He has no idea. And he's 7, and he's never going to remember this ever. I should be there. Give me that seat. Anyways, so there was this dad yesterday at the UVC game who is cheering in the crowd, and his kid is just passed out in his arms. Like, the kid's trying to sleep. And you're just like, basketball, college, and this kid is just passed out. Take him home. You're selfish. Now he's sleepy. Take him home. He needs to go to bed. It's late. He's tired. He's not going to sleep good. And I hope he pooped his pants right in your arms. Sir, bad dad. You're a bad dad.
Anything else? You want to just anything else you want to just tap in on that?
Like, get a babysitter. Well, yeah. With your friends and your family or whoever you're out with. But he's just zonked out.
Well, how many times do you hear kids, though, that are like, oh, my gosh, like my earliest childhood memories and my dad took me to the Stanley Cup Finals, Pens Flyers,
This baby does not
whatever.
remember that game.
Oh, yeah, no, that kid is like 3.
Right. Okay, maybe a 7-year-old can sit on the glass.
Let me see here again. Oh, wait, can you just turn it so I can see?
He's literally like...
Yeah, that kid is maybe 2 or 3 years old.
And this is probably the dad, too, that bought, like, 1 ticket. You know, like, you have, like, a 2 and under rule. They're under 2, they can sit on your lap. This kid's 3, maybe 3.5. This dad definitely bought 1 ticket, made that kid sit in his lap, and then the kid fell asleep, and the dad's still being a...
Bad person.
Yeah.
Bad parents.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I can think of anything appropriate.
That's what you are. That's what you are. Just a la.
So, yeah, that's my rant for the week. If you're going to bring your kid to a game, make sure they're not asleep. If they are asleep, take them home.
I'm trying to remember the last time I went, like, not the last time, but, like, my first game experience. I'm trying to remember if I was, like, I don't know the first time I went to, like, a professional game or, like, a big college game. I didn't go to a lot of sporting events when I was younger. I just played with myself in the backyard with a football and played catch with myself. Homeschool life. Anyway, it's a true story.
Gym class.
You can ask. Yeah, exactly. Gym class. I'd run around outside and throw myself a football. You can ask numerous people, and that's an absolutely true thing. But I don't. I think maybe I was like 10 or 11. Got to go to a Bucks game when I was little.
Okay.
But I mean, I vaguely remember it just because it was my first ever Bucks game. I know they were playing the Miami Heat. I remember that, and I got it because I read a certain amount of books for like the Domino's like Book It Club or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, remember doing those? You get a little personal pan pizza.
I think it was Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut, yeah. And then I think if you read X amount of books, you could get like tickets to a Bucks game, basically. And my family and I did that, and it was fun. Like, we didn't stay for the whole game because they were terrible and we're getting blown out. But I got to see Ray Allen play. I was like, "What up, Ray?" Like, but we were like in section 8,242, like way the hell up there, basically.
What sport are we watching?
Like, oh, that little man down there scored a basket. Good.
Did you talk like that when you were Rant?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I did. Still do it to this day. Do you remember your earliest sporting event?
Honestly, I don't.
No?
Mm-mm.
Aside from hockey, what's your favorite sporting event to go to? Type of game, I guess. Not necessarily even for a team, because obviously you can go to different levels of the same sport.
I enjoy... It's hard because if I was solely picking on what to watch, it would be football.
Sure.
But if it would be on the experience itself, it would be baseball because tailgating is so important in both of those. Like, I'll be honest, when I go to Brewers games, I'm not really paying attention. I go to them because I want to tailgate with my friends.
Woo!
And I want to chug Long Islands.
Nothing wrong with Long Islands.
At Packer games, same thing. And it's usually so cold that I need to be shit-faced to stand through the game because it's so cold.
I get that. I totally get that.
So, but to watch and pay attention, football would be number 2.
Okay, fair enough. Are you what kind of a fan are you? Like, are you like a pound on the glass, like punch him in the face, like hockey fan? Or are you just like, woo?
Well, since I've liked hockey, I've had to be quiet when I watch it. You know, I'm either like on the.
Of course, because you work for the team and you can't just be in the stands, and be like, woo,
right?
Go ahead, roll.
Yeah.
Be like, who's this girl?
Right, as I'm like in like dress clothes.
Yeah. I mean, go Admirals.
So, I'm actually a pretty quiet person when I watch sports in general.
So am I.
I like to cheer, but I'm not like, that wasn't a foul, like that wasn't a high stick, like I'm pretty like, that was stupid.
Yeah,
But I do stand up to cheer, so.
Oh, good.
Excited.
Way to cheer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, fun fact, even though many folks are like, well, you talk for a living. Like, you obviously have to be the most vocal person. Like, I'm actually probably one of the best people to watch a game with because I don't really say much.
Yeah.
Like, I will be honest, I really don't like those fans that are just like, what the hell, ref? I'm like, you're not even there. Like, sure, I get it. Like, yeah, I can clearly see, yes, face mask. But, like, I get it. People get wrapped up in the games. They're like, oh, my gosh, total BS. Somebody fire that ref. I'm like, you know how much money that ref's making?
Right.
You know how much money you're making?
And I'll pipe in a little bit, like, but I'll be like to myself, and I'll be like, that wasn't offsides.
Like, stupid.
Yeah.
Dumb.
And people probably like watching, like, if I'm with, like, my friends that also like the same sport I do or are watching the same thing that I'm watching.
Sure.
I don't really talk much during a game. Like, I go with some girlfriends sometimes, and I know they're going to be like, so, yesterday Kelly said that Stephanie's new boyfriend, Carl, has another girlfriend, Emily. I'll be like, I don't care right now. Shh. I'm watching a game. So.
You just made a lot of guys very happy to like, perfect girlfriend ever. Yes.
So
perfect girlfriend ever.
I would rather just sit.
It's been a while since we've had suitors try to throw their roses at you here on Facebook.
That's all right.
Probably safer that way. Better for the viewers overall, I guess.
We don't need any broken hearts.
We don't.
Just kidding.
Maybe the luck of the Irish today, though.
Yeah, but whoever gets second place and save me on a date, I'll go to
It's true for the bracket challenge. What if you finish in second place, though? You can't make yourself talk.
I'll take myself on a date.
What would you... Okay. I don't know. What? No, I'm
I'll
nothing wrong
go
with
buy
that.
myself a nice dinner.
Of
I'll
course.
go play laser tag or something. I don't know.
You're going to shoot yourself? Be like, oh, just miss me.
No, I'll go
oh,
shoot the little kids that are there.
Shooting little kids. You heard it here first. Jamie doesn't like kids and wants to shoot them. With a laser tag gun. Easy does it. Easy does it. I don't know. Bill says, slap somebody up, Jamie. Yes! Get it. Slap them up. Start a fire. Get fired up. Let's get fired up. Let's get fired up. No? Chanting? High school? College? Anything? What'd you do with yourself?
I was a cheerleader. I don't chant anymore.
Yeah, well, you would have been leading that chant.
Yeah, no.
Like, let's get fired Okay. Never mind. I'm done. I can't with you anymore. I've tried for 60 minutes to be your friend. I've tried to just show you my love and affection, and all I've been doing is just getting slapped up and down and just be able to sit down and just go away. So, I think I probably should at this point, I guess, because clearly there's no more love to be given here. So
It's Friday. All my love is dwindling
I
out.
feel like you would be saving your love for Friday. Be like, hey guys, like my Monday through Wednesday
my
was
love.
like meh, and then like Thursday, Friday, like love.
Maybe I love a lot in the beginning of the week because no one else does because it's the beginning of the week.
I can understand that. We can go back and check the tape. I think you are more vocal and lovey earlier in the week.
We'll go with like Tuesday. Monday wasn't good.
What happened Wednesday?
I don't know. I was hungover.
At least she's honest. That's all that really matters, honestly. That's all we care about on Brew Sports. She won't drink on the air, but she'll drink before she comes on the air, and then just whatever product we get is what we get, I guess. I get that. What are you doing this weekend, Jamie? You doing anything fun at all?
Working lots.
Working lots.
Yeah, working. We have a game tonight. We have a game Sunday, and then just working for the tournament and Patty's Day and.
Patty. Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
What are you
Anything?
doing?
What am I doing? My grandparents are coming down tomorrow. We're gonna hang out, have some fun,
Nice.
drink some drinks.
That's
Not
cute.
really. They're not drinkers, but we're just gonna hang out, try to enjoy the weekend. You
Nice.
know, watch some games, bust some brackets, eat some yummies, all that fun business. Play with my baby because he's so cute. Love my baby. Sorry, I'm a proud father. Very proud father. Anything we need to flash back to as well? Because I know it's Friday, so usually we flash back to anything we talked about earlier in the week. That bull rider getting his eye knocked straight out the socket.
Crazy.
Ezekiel Elliott. People have been coming out saying that Ezekiel Elliott, some people have defended him, and other people have been like, he's an idiot.
But then some people are saying that if it was Gronk that did it, it would be okay because Gronk motorboated a chick at a club once. Yeah, Gronk motorboated a chick at a club.
Not in public.
Yeah, but then apparently the chick is Ezekiel's friend, and she said she was okay with it, so whatever.
Right. And then if you'll remember earlier in the week as well, too, Eddie Lacy signed with the Seattle Seahawks. If you haven't heard, he has 7 weigh-ins that he has to do. He can earn $55,000 per weigh-in if he hits their goal weight that they want him at. $55,000.
I would never eat again.
But, I mean, also you're considering this is a guy that's going to be making at least $3 million while he's there.
Whatever. That's still a lot of money.
Like, how many people would join Weight Watchers if they're like, hit your goal weight, here's $55K, boom.
A girl that I work with said she was out the other night and ran into a guy whose boss is paying them $10,000 to the team of people from their office that loses the most weight in like 3 months or something like that.
That's motivation right there.
Yeah, I would never eat again. Give me 10 G's, please.
Well, it's collective. It's not one person
Yeah, but if
each.
it's still 5 people, that's still $2,000. Like, I'll take it.
Yeah. You don't just have $2,000 floating about that you can be like, oh, thanks. Pop
Right.
it in there. Be on
So-
your way. Good stuff.
Yep.
All right, Jamie, let's do this again on Monday, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, she's Jamie Evers. I'm Baxter Colburn. We appreciate you guys tuning in to The Morning Brew. Coming up next will be Halftime with myself and Tanner Burke. Stay tuned to Brew Sports throughout the rest of the day, though, as we'll be having live instant reaction to a lot of the NCAA games taking place as well. Numerous different hosts, correspondents, beer, pizza, wings, sports. Not Buffalo Wild Wings. But either way, we'll have a lot of fun today that you're not going to want to miss. We hope that you will continue to tune into Brew Sports. Remember to share and comment on the episode as well, too. Go to our website, brewsportsnet.com, and subscribe to our podcasts on iTunes as well, too. Just search for Brew Sports or search for any of your favorite Brew Sports programming. They're all on there. They'll all pop up, and you can go download, subscribe, tell your friends, whoop, whoop, all that fun business. She's Jamie. I'm Baxter. I've weirded her enough out for an hour. It's time to roll. We'll see you guys back here on Monday. And for those of you that are going to be back here with us at halftime, we'll see you at 11 Central. Have a good rest of your day, everybody, and happy St. Patrick's Day.